Oh, hello!
On our team, we've got the gray hat guys, our pyrotechnic operators. Reese Miller, his brother Drake. We're all three of us are licensed pyrotechnic operators, can do professional fireworks anywhere in California. This finale is sensory overload. 70 feet per inch wide. So it's going to go to 210 feet wide. So our small shells out there going 300 feet in the air, and they're going to get 210 feet wide on average. So how big is a 6-inch shell going to be? How high is it going to go? It's going to go way up there, 600 feet. And it's going to get how big? I don't know either. 480 feet wide. It's going to get big. Some will go even bigger, some will go a little smaller. So you say, do I have a good seat here? Jeff, you got a good seat? Oh yeah, you got a good seat. But you're also kind of in the danger zone. And I have to tell you that you have the potential of having fallout coming down on you. It's part of being here. I mean, you gotta take it all in. More importantly, though, we could have a hot ash come down and land on something dry, catch a little fire. Now we had a nice rain last night. We ran water tenders today. Jim Beam over here somewhere ran the tender for us this afternoon. Watered it down. We're in a safe zone, but if you have something hot that comes down and lands here and it's burning, I'd like one adult. This is very technical how we fight fire here. I want you to learn this. You come over, put your foot on it. Got it. 18 multi-shot devices that put anywhere from 30 to 100 or 300 shells at a time in the air. You will know when finale happens. Now, the show designer, who's a good friend of mine, a guy by the name of David Mosley, he likes to trick you a little bit, and he'll put a little faux finale here. You know, oh, that was a nice finale. Oh, that's not it. You will know when the finale happens. Tonight, what's this show look like on paper? It's 11 pages of spreadsheet. It's all loaded into we're firing this from an Android tablet. I'm running the music on my iPhone, on an app. And it all boils down to us lighting an E-match. This is what we call electric match. And this is how we light shells. And what it is a little bridge wire that's been dipped in a pyrotechnic compound. And when we run a little bit of electricity to it, it causes a little spark. That's what lights the match, or the fuse. So these are very, very sensitive. It only takes about 800 milliamps to light this up. Any electricians here? There's one right there.
It's like less than a volt.
So I can literally light this show tonight with a double-A battery. That's all the power I need to light this. I'm actually going to use 14.8 volts, but tonight, for demonstration purposes, I will show you all it takes to light a shell. So, we have a saying in pyrotechnics. You know what that saying is?
Fire in the hole.
Fire in a hole.
Not first time I saw it. Oh, yeah.
All of these, page after page after page, has been loaded into this. And it'll say at 3 minutes and 5 seconds, 7 frames, 7.3 frames, and 30, you break a second down into frames per second in SMPTE time code. Everybody familiar with that, I assume? You didn't know me neither. So we have something like a 3-inch green to orange color changing shell. And it's got the spin stock and all this other stuff. All this information is dumped into this tablet. One of these things that we can basically we keep it on the cloud. If something changes, we go in and edit it. It's a spreadsheet, and it's real simple stuff to do. I'm letting that load up a little bit. So when we start this tonight, I'm going to start a soundtrack that you can all listen to, and then we'll have these two synced up really close. We're going to shoot this at about 9:46 is the estimated time between 9:45 and 9:46. It's going to be 18 minutes and 7 seconds. Set your stopwatch. No, but it's going to be really close to that. It's scripted that the last shells might burn a little bit longer. So right now this is loading the software, loading the script, and it's basically just a simple little program that we push a couple of buttons that I'm not going to show you which ones they are because we start blowing shit up. But it's just a simple script. We push one button here, one button there, and it goes. And we can sit back and watch the show. It's very, very sophisticated to the point that it's simple. Simple for us, and it makes for a great show for you because it's timed. And every shell out there has an address, a binary address, based off the channel and a position that it's wired into the channel, and it fires when the computer says, let's go. So how does that happen? The show producer says, okay, right here, this big note in the music, I want this big shell to go off. And it's going to take, once we light it, it's going to take 3.4 seconds from the ignition to the lift to the break. So if it's happening right here on this big note in the show, they got to back up the soundtrack to 3.4 seconds prior to for the lift. So to lift, so that when it gets in the air and breaks open, it's exactly timed to the music. So it's pretty cool stuff, nice technology, but it makes for a really good show. Tie the wires down, the wires would be all in the trees. Years and years ago when we were shooting out there, that was the problem. It's like, oh, look at all these wires, how are we going to get them down? Just cut the tree down. But we didn't do that. So we came up with this little strain relief so the wires stay on the ground, and we clean them all up after, and we take them home, and actually the wires all get recycled. So good money in copper right now, so they get recycled. So we've got 6-inch shells, 5-inch, and all this stuff over here is what we call our main body of the show. So we've got main body, we've got finale, and then we've got these boxes all over the place called cakes. And you will remember the cake when it goes off because it shoots a lot of shells. One of them is 156 shots, and it's going to go in about, I don't know, 15 seconds, 20 seconds. That'll cost about $500-600 for that, but they're pretty cool events. So the cakes really add a lot to shows. They're lower level, so they're going to go up to 150 to 200 feet. We've got cakes over there going to go 250 to 300 feet. Notice the crew is keeping people back because no one's supposed to be this close, right? Except us. So this is one of our firing modules. So this is all radio linked to that control panel up there. To get a little closer to showtime, we'll turn them on. We run continuity. We make sure the wires are all together. Everything's ready to go, and we'll have. We've already tested continuity one time. It's 100%. This show is ready to rock and roll, and all we got to do is turn it on, push the button. We're gonna go. We've got about 38 of these out here. Well, I've got more than that out here. But each one has a channel. So this is channel 36. Fuse 1 through 18. And they're wired in appropriately. So we know where they are. If something goes wrong, we say, oh, something's not right on Q36-5. And you say, well, that one's kind of facing that way. Is that right? That one's kind of facing that way? Well, yeah, that's our design. So we're going to shoot two at one time, and one's going to go this way, and one's going to go that way. And it creates a V pattern in the sky. And almost every one of those shells are matched, so they're going to look the same. And our show designer likes to throw two up and another one on top of it. So there's a lot of multi-shot 2 and 3 shells at a time. If you think about it, we're putting about 1,800 shells in the air in 18 minutes. Do the math. It's a lot of shells in the air. This is a very, very busy show. Oh, by the way, never put your hands on these and lean on them. Very dangerous. One of the things that we had a problem with last night in Anderson. Let's talk about finale. So finale is typically multiple shots at a time. So these 3-inch or 6-inch shells, we might be throwing 3 at a time up, so we wire them together. We've got other things over here that are wired 5 at a time. It's hard to show them because we're protecting them a little bit tonight because we had an issue last night. But so we're protecting them
inside here, it just comes right out. If it doesn't, it's okay, just leave it there. So you'll pull from the outside. And then after you've gotten them all out of one rack, go ahead and gather the wire and just put it in a pile where you recycle it.
Fireworks to make sure that nothing is destroyed ecologically and everything is put back the way it should. All the kids are participating.